And we're coming to you now with the JoLo Show. The JoLo Show. Can I go back? Can I do a mulligan trip on that?
Do it over.
All right. So we're going to come to you live now with the JoLo Show, episode 13. Lucky 13. I think it's lucky 13. My dad was born on the 13th. What do you think? Is 13 a lucky number for you, Vince?
Bro, I don't know because I'm mesmerized by you got the Kanicki thing going on tonight, which you know I like. You know I'm a big fan of the Kanicki thing. I know you got your hair cut and everything, JoLo, but it's kind of made a return, and I'm a little excited over here, bro.
It has. It's my Clark Kent. I really want to grow a fine pompadour is what I'm going for, Vince. And to get that forward haircut, you got to cut it short on the sides and let it grow a little bit on the top, and that's what's going on.
Now, JoLo, you would never lie to me no matter what question I ever asked you, right?
I have no reason. No, I would
no
never
reason to lie whatsoever in the world, because I'm going to ask you a very important question right now.
Bring it on.
Are you tired or are you high?
Little of both.
Okay, you look very you look very tired tonight, JoLo. This isn't the JoLo that's upbeat, ready to take this show by this nutsack. This ain't that Joe. Very tired, bro. I don't like this.
Okay, I'll bring the energy up. I will. And
right,
trust me,
usually, JoLo, you're usually the guy that brings me up when you're like this. I can't, come on, bro.
Okay, fair enough. And you're the guy who's always yelling into the microphone. I can't start yelling because I have a 3-year-old asleep, 15 feet away from me. And
nah, bro, you got the
I have a sleeping
droopy dog. You got the droopy dog eyes going on, bro. You look a little worn tonight, JoLo. I'm just being honest with you, bro.
Well, thank you for your concern.
About you. Are you working too hard?
Not too hard. No, I don't think so. I've been working kind of hard, kind of sort of, but we did clean off the porch tonight, and so I helped clean off the porch. Okay. And so that was like we had a whole winter's worth of dust and grime and stuff going on there, and we just watched 3 hours of Raw, and that'll make anybody look old. I mean, come on.
Now, what is cleaning off the porch consist of? Sweeping? What? Putting the chairs out? What does that consist of?
No. We had to sleep up and open up the grill to see if anything was living inside of it. We had to take those chairs off the porch, roll up the carpet that was down there, and been down there for about 2 years now. So we had to clean the whole thing. Like, we really hadn't done like a proper remodeling of that in a while. So we decided let's get some curtains, let's make it look nice. But to get to that point, we had to throw away potted plants that had died, like the whole thing. It got the full clean treatment.
JoLo, you are, how old are you again, JoLo? 28?
28, yes, as of February.
Now, you're a homeowner, bro?
Oh, no.
Are you renting the joint?
Apartment, yes, indeed. Fine Quincy apartment.
You're renting an apartment, but there's a patio.
Yeah, actually a quite nice one.
Really interesting. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's really the sort of the jewel of the summertime, at least here in the apartment. It makes a great place.
How long have you been in that apartment, JoLo?
We're going on at least 3.5 years now, because we've been here. We moved in right after my son was born, and he's turning 3 in 2 days. So, it's been about 3 years now.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice place. It's a nice place. We're looking for other places to live eventually, but for now, we're gonna make that patio look killer. And that's kind of our goal.
Nice.
So this is a sort of landmark JoLo show, being the first JoLo
show.
JoLo,
you're like way off center. You know that. I mean, is that what you're looking for? The one-eyed JoLo tonight?
No.
What are we trying to capture here, bro? Just let me in on this. Is this a new artistic gimmick, bro?
No, man. This is me looking at the camera way too much and not looking at my
bro. We're monitor. Like one jack JoLo, bro. I mean, we might have to change the name of the show, bro.
Right. No, here's what I'll do. I'll move my monitor a little bit closer
because
to the camera.
Joe, you're the artsy guy, so I don't know if you're trying something new and you're not telling me. I don't know I'm all confused over here. I'm all discombobulated, bro.
Here's what I'm trying to do, Vince, and you tell me if you like it. Do you like the JoLo Show, like the brand thing back there, right?
Yeah, it's like the newscaster where he's on one side of the screen and he's got the news. But yeah, I see what you're going after, bro.
Now here's the thing, bro. If I do this, I have to it throws my game off. See, because my microphone is here on my right on my table, and I want to have I want to have it on my side because the brand is on that side of the screen. So I'm being lazy, basically. I need to go back and make the image again. To
Yeah,
put
but
on the other
that
side.
right there is what we call in a business. That right there is very nice framing, Joe. I like that shot right there now.
Okay, see, this is I'll try to work for this, but then if I lean and get real comfortable, see, I start to drift a little bit, and so I gotta try to avoid relaxing too much.
I'll bring you back to center if I need to, bro.
All right, yeah. You're always good at keeping me on my game, Vince, as much as I'm good at keeping the conversation moving forward from time to time.
Absolutely.
So together we'll make sure that I'm in frame and I have a nice looking setup going here. All right.
Joel, I got to tell you a little story today. All right. I always start off, and I know I throw you off kilt because you're on a schedule here.
Nothing throws me. Okay. Sometimes you throw me off kilter, but no, hit me with a story, man.
I got to tell you this, bro. I'm trying to get like so much material in the can because I'm like that, JoLo. I can't wait the last minute. If I got to get like a podcast or something, I panic. Right. So my whole idea now is I'm going to get as much in the can as I possibly can, right? So I reached out today to Katrina Waters, Winter.
Right.
Okay, yes. Literally 2 hours before we did our podcast, right? So, bro, I reach out to her and she's buying time telling me, I just woke up, I'm disheveled, I need to get ready, I need to do this, I need to do that, right? Bro, the girl comes on and she literally looks like she just walked off of the red carpet.
Wow.
Bro, she like had on a dress. I mean, absolutely beautiful. This is a girl, JoLo. I don't know how much of a fan you are of Winter. You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
I do know who you're talking about, although I regret to say I can't call myself a fan because I haven't seen a body of work.
Bro, this is you'll appreciate her, and I'll tell you why in a sec. First of all, she's beautiful, but what knockouts and divas aren't beautiful? Second of all, Joel, that English accent like just kills you. You know that. But here's the thing, Joel. I'm going to tell you about this because I know this is a little JoLo's background, bro. She's a phenomenal actress.
Oh yeah,
bro, the best actress I ever worked with in the business. I mean, so good that when I did backstage stuff with her, I was like, this girl does not need to be doing wrestling. She should be in the movie somewhere. That's how good she is, bro.
The one connection that I have to Winter is a friend of mine who lives in Los Angeles, who works with the Women of Wrestling promotion, the people that right? He has she like comments on a few of his pictures, and like they've had a few backs and forth, and so I've seen her name get tossed around, but I've never actually seen her body of work. So I'll have to go do some Googling. That's fantastic.
And she doesn't. We had this long talk, JoLo. She does not believe in monogamous relationships. Does not believe in them. That was the discussion of topic.
That's an interesting conversation. There's that HBO show Big Love about the Mormon family, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Although her style might not be quite so Mormon.
No, she's not Mormon at all. Just a way of life, just the way she looks at certain things. Very interesting.
Yeah, well, to each their own. I'm looking forward to the podcast when it comes out, man. And everybody on the brand is going to really enjoy it too, for sure.
Yeah. With Marlena yesterday, Terry Runnels, we did spend some time on the size of the package of Dustin Runnels. That was topic.
That's something, I'm sure that's something everybody wants to know is intimate details about Dustin Runnels' package.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, touched upon it, JoLo.
Touched upon it. So you touched upon Dustin Runnels' package, did you, Vince?
JoLo, I'll tell you, I'll never. This was like traumatic to me, JoLo. This is going back like 15 years ago. We had a show in Atlantic City, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I was very tight with the both of them, very, very tight. So they call me up to the room and literally like they're both in bed, and like, bro, I was the kind of guy like, bro, like I didn't even notice like what Terry was wearing. I'm not that guy, bro, but they felt comfortable enough around me. They're in bed. They call me upstairs, spend some time with them in the room. Now, for some reason, bro, I don't know what it was. I mean, I can't get in the head of Dustin, Rhodes, Mr. Goldust himself.
Right.
For some reason, at one point during that night, he decides to show me his manhood. And I got to tell you something, bro. The sight of this thing was so traumatic that like for 15 years it never left me. So like I had to talk to Terry last night because I'm like, listen, I've been holding this in for 15 years. I never shared this with anybody. I said, but I have to tell you, the sight of this thing just has haunted me like for 15 years. And that was how we talked about that.
Oh, they were
testing. And bro, that's a true story, bro.
They were testing the waters, Vince. That's funny. That's so funny. Oh my goodness.
Ridiculous. Well, absolutely ridiculous.
I want to see that one too. So when these podcasts come out, I will keep my eyes on the Realm Network and be sure to hear what you and Terry Reynolds get into, talking about Dustin's package. Quality family entertainment.
Yeah.
What we should expect from Vince Russo.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Well, never mind. Go ahead.
You're gonna have.
I almost said I'd rather see Dustin's package than New Day wrestle. I almost said that, bro. But then I figured out. Let me not say that. Let me keep that within and keep it to myself. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think of a one-liner for that one, man, and I think you were better off just letting it slide. Okay. So, why don't we slide into some questions? We actually posted, we got some Twitter answers from people, and so we're going to do a classic JoLo show. And the classic JoLo show means non-wrestling related questions that I throw and bounce off of you, and we have some fun. And soon, Vince, it's not going to be you and me on the show. I'm going to try to get somebody else to submit themselves to talk about non-wrestling stuff. I am going to send some emails out this week to Above Average Mr. Mike Sanders and Disco. And we'll see who's in the Rolodex who wants to talk about not wrestling stuff. Maybe we can go back and re-talk to some of the old Swerve or VIP shoot interview guys.
Hey, Joe, I gotta ask you a question because I know you're recording this on your end, right? Are the pictures going back and forth while we talk?
Yes, they are.
Okay, but I don't see that because you're recording?
Correct.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Now, if you click, here's a little Google Hangout introduction. If you see there's little boxes with people's names and their pictures at the bottom of the screen. If you click on one, you'll focus on that person permanently.
Yeah.
If you click on them again or click off of them, I think, while you're in the chat window, it will bounce back and forth between the speakers.
Yeah.
So just make sure that someone's not selected. Okay. And maybe it'll bounce back and forth between the two. But I'm seeing it bounce back and forth. So I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to show up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's how it's going to show up on YouTube.
Okay.
We'll find out. Time will tell. So let's go. We're going to go right to Twitter. And we're going to go to Alan Ross, Chronic 74. If you could choose only one song to be played at your funeral, what would it be and why?
Okay, you go first, JoLo.
A good life-ending song. Okay, I've got one. It's kind of a weird one, but it's kind of it's like a really happy, upbeat one. Do you know the band Blood, Sweat, and Tears?
Of course I do. And when I die, that's what you're going to pick right there, right? There'll be one child born in this world to carry. I love how you know those references, JoLo. I really do.
That's
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. They had a couple really good songs, man.
Oh my goodness, yes. They really did have a couple of great songs. That was probably one of my favorites.
Thomas. What was his first name? That was the lead singer of the group. Something Clayton Thomas. I remember that.
I don't remember his name. All I remember is the band.
And what was their big hit, JoLo? Can you sing a couple bars for me?
I know it. Spinning Wheel.
Yeah, there you go, bro. There you go.
What goes up must come down.
Great song, bro. Great song.
Got to go round. Yeah. Great. Oh yeah. So I really like that band, and I recently got into their music a little bit more and was listening. Oh yeah, You've Made Me So Very Happy.
But a lot of people covered that though, bro. I wouldn't necessarily say that was a Blood, Sweat, and Tears song.
It wasn't, no, but I think they had one of the best covers of it. He has such an amazing voice. So, and When I Die, I like that song because it's got everything I like about a song is that it's upbeat, but it's also really sad. And it's I would want people to listen to that. That's it. That's all we're gonna do at this funeral. You're gonna come into a room, we're gonna play this song, and we're all gonna go out and drink. That's it. That would probably be my song. I think that's a good answer.
Good choice, bro. Very good selection. Very nice.
It was off the top of my head. If I had to think about it more, I might have a top 3, top 5, but with a knee-jerk reaction, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and When I Die.
Yeah.
I might even maybe I'll figure out if I can hide a few bars underneath here or something.
Well, I'm not going with I'm not picking a particular song, that references death or anything like that. I got to go with my all-time favorite song, Rocky Mountain High, bro.
That's your all-time favorite
Absolutely. Song means a lot to me, bro. Always has.
That's a good answer too, man. That's a really pretty song. That reminds me of oh man. Do you like Gordon Lightfoot?
Yeah, not really.
Not really, no.
No.
See, I always thought you're thinking of the John Denver Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought that he had kind of Gordon Lightfoot was definitely softer a little bit, maybe, but I like his music. I like Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, great song.
Tell me you don't like that song. Come on.
Great song. Great song.
Everybody does.
You're just not a big fan of the guy. Hey, JoLo, are there some bands like you just absolutely hate for no reason? There are bands I hate for no reason. Do you have a category like that?
For just flat out no good reason. I just can't stand it.
Yes. I got 3 that I hate for no reason. Whatever they do, I just hate it.
I could probably think of 1 or 2, maybe a few bands. I couldn't care less what they do. I don't want to hear anything that they have to do. Who do you got?
My 3 bands that I've always hated, bro, for no reason. The Alan Parsons Project, which wasn't even a band. It was I
Am the Sky.
Yeah, there were studio magicians or something, but I couldn't stand it. Steely Dan, bro. I got no use for Steely Dan. None.
Oh, get out of town.
No, I don't have any use for Steely Dan. No.
Oh,
and you know who else I got no use for, bro?
What?
Electric Light Orchestra.
You are breaking my heart right now.
Those 3, bro, I don't know. They shouldn't have made records, I don't think.
Oh, you're killing me, bro.
Yeah.
You're killing me. ELO is...
ELO.
You see, how can you do you like Styx?
Oh, of course. Love Styx.
How could you not like ELO?
Bro, they're not this. No way near is that the same sound, bro. No way near.
Oh, come on. Okay. I could tell the 2 apart if I heard them too. Man,
what's the lead singer's name? Jeff what from ELO?
You see, this is where I always fall short. I don't know singers' names of bands very well.
I can't remember. But the thing about it is, too, bro. Here's the funny thing. I'm a huge Beatles mark, and that.
Yeah.
The guy Jeff, I can't think of his last name, and it's embarrassing because he is iconic. The lead singer of ELO. A lot of their stuff was inspired by the Beatles. He later went on to do a lot of work with George Harrison, but he was a huge Beatle mark. So you think I would like the stuff, but it never did anything for me, bro.
I'm trying to think of a band that might have been big or somewhat big that I didn't really care for, and I can't really think of anybody that big that was a band. Individual performers, I completely missed pop culture. I could care less, but Britney Spears, NSYNC, that's just throwaways. But there was one band I thought I was going to like. Do you know the band Oingo Boingo?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to like them a lot because I like Devo and other 80s, sort of weird 80s rock sounds. Pardon me, I'm burping. And I just, I listened to one album of Oingo Boingo and just hated it. Couldn't get into it. And just stopped immediately. And it's not necessarily they're a huge popular band. Oh, you got to love Oingo Boingo. Other than that, sort of the classic, everybody hates them. Nickelback, just don't care.
Yeah.
Never really liked any of their music to begin with. But no, if I don't like it, I just don't listen to it, a lot of modern country music, a lot of modern pop music, modern rap music. I just don't get into any of it.
Yeah, I hear that.
So it's music is the one thing where it's great because there's so much of it that you can listen to, tons of it without having to ever listen to stuff you don't like. So I get to avoid it entirely, and it's really, really nice. But yeah, that's where I would leave it. But yeah, Steely Dan and ELO, man, that's it. I love Steely Dan. They have some great songs.
Don't be nuts for me, bro.
All right. Well, we'll leave that. I'm not going to try to convince you to become a Steely Dan fan, but they are. I think they're a great band. So I'm going to go ahead and just plant my flag for Steely Dan at the end of this little band conversation that we've just had. So good talk, man. But I'm going to
good talk.
Yeah,
very
definitely. Deep. Good question too, Alan. Good. Thanks for leading us into a nice deep conversation. Next question comes from my buddy, Calvin Pullhammer, one of my old friends from Chicago. Calvin asks, Vince, how do you pronounce the word radiator?
Radiator.
Yeah. And what term would you use to describe two buildings diagonally across from each other? I don't know what that means. I don't even know what that's called. Two buildings diagonally across to each other? Two buildings that are catty corner? That's what I would call it. Catty corner? I don't know.
Catty corner, they'd have to be on a corner. They wouldn't be across from each other.
I always thought it was like if you were diagonally next to something, you were catty corner to it.
No, you got to be on a corner, and there's got to be one here and one there. That's catty corner.
Gotcha. Well,
but I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, the radiator question comes out from his actual question, which is, how do you feel about regional dialect differences? Is there a right and wrong way to say something?
Yeah, the New York way is the right way.
And the New York way is the right way.
Everybody knows that, JoLo.
Coming from the Midwest, I like to say that I don't have an accent. That's what people from the Midwest will usually say. And we always see ourselves as speaking normal compared to everybody else. Like everyone has a very distinct, like New Yorkers can have a very distinct New York sound. West Coast can have a very distinct West Coast sound. The South obviously has a Southern sound.
You want to know something, JoLo? It's not so much like, of course, the dialect is a big thing, but also the usage of words is a huge thing. I want to find out if this was a St. Louis thing, because I grew up on Long Island. I went to school in Evansville, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first thing that freaked me out when I went to school in Evansville, Indiana, was I went to a grocery store.
Right.
And the checking lady, does my groceries and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she turned around and asked me if I wanted them in a sack. Bro, I swear, like, I did not know, like, what she was talking about.
That's got to be an Indiana thing, I think.
That's not a St. Louis thing, bro?
St. Louis has a long list of things, but I don't think that that's a St. Louis thing.
Bro, what's the one term, like, associated with a region that, like, drives you absolutely crazy?
A term associated with a region
that just drives you nuts.
Oh.
Because there's one, like, and every time somebody says it, it's like, I'm sorry, bro. You come down like 50 notches with me.
I'm trying to think of like a name for like somebody who's from somewhere, and it just annoys the crap out of me. No, I hate the Missouri State motto. That is not really the same thing.
What is that? The Show Me State.
The Show Me State's stupid reputation for needing to be shown proof of everything. That's like the worst thing your state can be known for. Like, everybody from Missouri is very shrewd. That's awful. But I can't think of it. Are you going to say Hoosier?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about a phrase used.
Okay,
a phrase used in a certain part of the world.
Let's hear it.
Fixin', bro.
Fixin'.
When you go to the South and they're fixing to do this and they're fixing to do that, bro, that drives me out of my freaking mind, bro. When I was in Atlanta and I was in Nashville, that's like all I heard. I'm fixing. Well, I don't even know what that means. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. I'm fixing to go to the store. Like, I don't even know where that derived from.
I will tell you. It means that you are affixing something. It comes from like bridling a horse or putting a saddle on a horse. Like you are affixing your coat on yourself. You are affixing something on the thing you're about to take out. So you're fixing to go somewhere. You're getting yourself ready to go. You're getting yourself ready is what it means.
That's what it means.
Yeah, it means to prepare.
I had no idea, bro, because I could never connect the dots. I didn't know what it meant.
Now, when we're talking dialect like that, I live in Boston now. So I lived in Chicago for 7 years. I grew up in St. Louis, but living in Boston now, I've had to get used to the Boston accent.
Right.
And it's impossible. I'm telling you, it's impossible. My girlfriend, thank goodness, no Boston accent, nothing at all.
But you're talking about like the park, the car, and all that.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And we talk about the Patriots and the. It's you hear it. There's people who just got it, and it's really thick, and like it's It sounds like it is the Barney Rubble to the Fred Flintstone of accents on the East Coast.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give it to New York. New York has got it down. Like the sound of the East Coast should be the New Yorker, like the New York cop voice, or the like that. That's it. The Boston just ruined it all for everybody. And I don't say wicked yet very much. I don't call things wicked this and wicked that. I'm not a Patriots fan, which means I'm basically not welcome at half the places that you can go to during Patriots season.
Yeah,
because I'll be actively rooting for anybody but that team. So Boston is a very hostile environment if you're not like a Bostonian. So getting used to it has been a little bit tough, but I feel like I'm finally starting to fit in a lot better.
I like the use of the term wicked there in Boston, bro.
Wicked, it never caught on with me. Wicked, why is it wicked? What's wicked? Wicked. And you know what? I never liked either when people call things sick. I do it from time to time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, that's
sick.
That's real sick. Like that always made me feel like that's not good. That's clearly a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the same thing when you say a girl is hot and a girl is cool. We all know that those are opposites, but they mean the same thing. But when you call something sick, you might as well be saying like that's disgusting. And then someone's like, "Oh, thank you for the compliment." It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. So that's my beef with dialect. Here's the final part of this question, because this will answer a lot about us. Is it soda? Is it pop? Or is it Coke?
Soda.
Soda. It is soda. Living in Chicago, I did start to call it pop. Because I worked at a pizza place for a little while. It just becomes pop. It becomes pop while you're working there because everybody else says it. Everybody orders pop on the phone. Pop, 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 pop. I went to Wisconsin. It gets even worse the further north you go.
Mm-hmm.
More pop. But in St. Louis, it's always soda.
Soda. Yep.
That's it. And then sometimes Coke, but usually soda. I heard that if you're like in Atlanta, it's all Coke. Is that true?
Well, that's where Coke's from. So
well, obviously,
a lot of it is. Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah,
fair enough. But okay, well, good. Soda. I'm glad we're in agreement then. That takes care of that. So it is Radiator. Just for anybody who's asking, still Calvin, Radiator. So next question is from the Ryan DiBiase. Always enjoy Ryan's questions. Ryan asks, for both of us, what is your favorite Martin Scorsese movie and why is it Goodfellas?
I don't know if it's Goodfellas for me, bro.
What is your, what's funny? My immediate answer is yes, of course. Goodfellas is my favorite Scorsese movie. But now I'm going to look up the full list because I'm afraid I might have missed something.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I want you to go through the list. I think I know what my favorite is, bro. Go. Goodfellas loses me to the end of the movie.
It's long.
When Ray Liotta, becomes paranoid and the choppers are overhead and all that stuff, it kind of loses me there at the end. I never liked the ending of that. I thought it was so good, and then it kind of went down a different road that's where it loses some points with me. So that's why I have some other favorites.
It does it's like a 4-act movie as opposed to like a 3-act movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's first of all, it's a very long movie. That's one of the first things that I always noticed about it. But I would say that Goodfellas is close to being my favorite movie by him. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking at movies that he's directed specifically.
That's what he's talking about, Ryan.
Right. Okay, so favorite Scorsese movie that he's directed. The big one's Wolf of Wall Street. Didn't see it, heard that I would be interested in it. Wasn't really that interested in seeing it. Probably should have seen it.
Good movie. I saw it. Good movie, but not my favorite.
This one I think was a box office bomb. Hugo. Did you catch that?
Never saw it.
Me either. I think it was an animated film. I'm pretty sure, yes. He directed one episode of Boardwalk Empire, which is a great TV show.
My son Will is a big fan of that show.
It's a good one. He directed Shutter Island with Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
that was a good movie.
Did not see that.
Still not my favorite. He directed The Departed in 2006.
That was a very good movie. Not my favorite.
I saw that twice in theaters. Still not my favorite. The Aviator in 2004.
Never saw. My kids rave about that.
Good movie, Howard Hughes. It's again Leo DiCaprio doing great things with Scorsese. Still not my favorite. Gangs of New York. Really like that movie.
Yeah,
Daniel
not
Day-Lewis.
good movie, not my favorite.
It's up there for me. I watched that movie with some friends, and we had such a great time watching it. I just remember it being such a fantastic work. I loved anything Daniel Day-Lewis does. So basically,
Yeah, well, he's tremendous.
right. Casino,
That
1995.
that might be my favorite.
Really, you put
Yeah.
Casino above
Oh yeah.
Goodfellas?
Yeah, bro. The De Niro character is just, I mean, you can just watch that over and over and over again, bro.
It is pretty. It is pretty amazing. Cape Fear.
That was also excellent.
I did not see Cape Fear.
Oh, bro, come on now. De Niro in Cape Fear is off the freaking charts, bro.
Now I love B. De Niro, so I'll have to go back.
Oh
back
my
and watch
God,
this
you'll
stuff.
love that.
Last Temptation of Christ with Willem Dafoe. I read the book. Didn't see the movie. Going further back, Raging Bull.
Well, that's another. That's up there, bro. Yeah.
Of course, Taxi Driver.
Yeah. He did Mean Streets too, didn't he? Mean Streets. Yeah,
Just
that
a
was
few
one
years
of
earlier.
his first. Yeah.
Yep, 1973.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking back. Yep, that's pretty much the big stuff. From
I'd
his
say,
early
bro.
career.
You know, you know what? That you reminded me of Raging Bull. There, I'd have to give Raging Bull the nod over Casino, and then go with Goodfellas in that order.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Goodfellas at the top, and I'm gonna put somewhere floating towards the bottom, Raging Bull. I really like Taxi Driver. That was the kind of movie that hit me right in the spot during college. So it floats around there, but for sure my favorite is Goodfellas. To me, Goodfellas, like it made me want to be a good fella, despite everything. I was like, nothing. I won't go through any of the stuff that Tommy went through. Of course, I'll be fine. Like I could make that life work for me.
Yeah.
That movie is it does something where it takes itself seriously, but at the same time, it takes itself a little more realistically than The Godfather did.
Yeah.
You know, The Godfather is clearly like this sort of myth fantasy of like the power and this and that. And I'm sure that there's a lot of realness to it. But Goodfellas, when Tommy falls, like, and drugs come into the equation and you see the effect of it.
Yeah.
And it changes the whole, like you said, it changes the whole tone of the movie.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's not this fun roller coaster ride. It's this really depressing look into this guy's like serious issues.
Yeah.
I really loved it. Like I loved the rug getting pulled out from under him. I loved him ending up in the suburban house, just picking up the paper like everybody else. Like I just movies that end like that always get me. So I really got into Goodfellas as far as Scorsese films go.
Okay.
So good question, Ryan. Thank you for that question. Next question is from Boris T. Kaiser. Boris asks, if we should create ring names for Jeff, myself, and you, what would they be? What would our wrestling names be?
Wow, that's a interesting.
Let's say that you find two new recruits, Jeff Lane and JoLo Castro, have just come up from whatever developmental, and you have to book them. Do you book us as a tag team? You book us as singles?
No, singles.
Single.
Yeah. You guys wouldn't be a tag team. Oh boy, bro, that's tough, man.
I've got a ring name that I use in all the wrestling video games that is a very significant name to me that I think would be a good wrestling name. It's also a little bit of a pun, and I'm always into that kind of stuff. It is Ken Tension would be my ring name.
Ken Tension.
Ken
Like
Tension.
contention.
Yes. Kenneth Tension. Ken Tension. And that would be my ring name.
Now, how did you come up with that?
I was adopted. My biological father's name is Kenneth. And I found out that was actually going to most likely be my name if I had stayed in that family.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I would have been Ken. And like that, immediately I was like, would I have been a good Ken? Would Ken have worked for me? And that was like so those are the first things that went through my head. And then right after I found that out, I started the 1 month that I did of wrestling training school. And so I had to come up with a ring name for the first day. And I was like, oh, I got to kind of come up with one. I might want to, I want one that's new. I've made up names before, but I want a new name. And I want one that's closely tied to me, but also fun, easy to say, you know. And so I went with Ken because I kind of like it, and I think it's Japanese for fist too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, Ken's a nice strong name. And then the tension part, I just kind of liked the play on words, like Ken Tension, and tension has a cool, like, excuse me, Mr. Tension, you know, like it's a good last name for like a character.
Yeah.
So like Ken Tension, and I thought that's it. Now, that's my ring name. That's my wrestler name. If I ever get involved in wrestling as an announcer or as a referee or anything, if I ever eventually Vince, one of my life goals is to announce or to announce a wrestling show.
Really?
Yes. Oh, I would love to sit in the booth and call the show or just be the general manager. I want to be a talking head, basically. Like I don't even want to train necessarily to take bumps or anything. I want to be a talking head. So, because, you know, character is what drives the show. And so Ken Tension, flat out. That's who I would be.
I got to think about this for real. I'm going to come back next week with names because I don't just want to fly them off the top of my head. I want to put some thought into it.
I like that. You know what name immediately jumped off for me for Jeff?
What's that?
You remember Jack LaLanne, the power juicer guy?
Mm-hmm.
LaLanne. I know that Jeff's last name is actually Lane, but LaLanne to me has like a kind of a regalness to it. If you could change his first name, but keep LaLanne as his last name, that might not be bad. I don't know. Spitballing.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing here. But Boris, we will. Vince will come back with some of his good stuff there, and Ken Tension. Look for him next coming to your next indie wrestling show.
Coming to a town near you.
We'll see. Someday Ken Tension will enter the ring. So the final question for the night comes from Big Josh Schenkel.
Big Josh
always makes an appearance on the JoLo Show. He is our just about as regular as you would want to be. Is Big Josh Schenkel right there? So here he is again with a quick question for us. And Josh, I think you know the answer to this question for Vince at least, but we'll find out. JoLo and Vince, have you ever met anyone famous? And do you have any famous person's autograph? That's the more specific part that interests me. Vince, are you an autographs guy?
Not really. I have some, but I wouldn't consider myself an autograph guy.
I feel the exact same way. I've got a couple autographs, but I wouldn't really consider myself an autographs guy. I've got a couple like important, like during important life moments, I've had things autographed for like rare opportunities. I got an item signed by a Japanese band once. A Japanese band came over and did their very first North American show, and so when they did that, I really liked them, and so they all signed this costume piece that I happen to have with me. But Vince, have you ever got anything signed, like a band sign anything or anything like that?
Did a couple. I'd say my two. I got a couple autographs going on in here. I'd say outside of wrestling, my only. I'll be honest with you. My only prized wrestling autograph is Owen Hart. Well, actually, I got the. I have, and I think I told you this, JoLo. I have a copy of the cover of the Raw magazine. Okay, signed by. You ready for this?
Who's that?
Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Davey Boy Smith, Brian Pillman, and Owen Hart.
Wow.
Yeah, that like is kind of my prized wrestling like that. You couldn't.
They're gonna put that in the box with you when you go under.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My other two big ones, I'm looking around my office here. Obviously, my other two big ones are, and I did go out and I bought something special for Adam West to sign. So that was a big one, and Willie Mays is another big one for me. And I'll tell you a story, bro. Meeting a famous person. I want to hear your story next.
Oh,
this was the biggest thrill of my life, bro. I'll never forget this as long as I live, and you will appreciate this, JoLo. This is about 1983, right? And maybe like about 87-ish, maybe 87, and I'm in the MGM Grand in Vegas, right, bro? All of a sudden, man, we're in the lobby, and like 6 huge black guys, huge, obviously bodyguards, come walking through, and everything stops.
The squad,
right?
Yeah, the squad shows up.
So now, bro, I'm looking, and I'm not far away from this, bro. It's right there,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody, and bro, I look. And guess who they're surrounding, bro? And I freaking marked out like I never marked out in my life.
Richard Pryor.
Sammy Davis Jr., bro.
Oh.
And I said hello to Sammy, and Sammy said hello back. And I mean, that will never, ever, ever be topped. Ever be topped.
Wow.
I got to meet with, I'll be honest with you, bro. Like I was a big Kiss mark growing up. I got to work with Gene at WCW. We did some vignettes and stuff, but bro, Gene's such an a-hole. Like, it's like, you know what I mean, bro? I mean, like nothing. I mean, the guy's an a-hole. I mean, anybody, bro, that money is their God. They're like, just such a, but so, I mean, I did get to meet him, and I thought that would be a bigger thrill than it was. Nothing is ever going to top Sammy, bro, ever.
Wow, man, you definitely surprised me with who you said came through that crowd of people. Sammy Davis.
And the other one was, and I think I told you that too, JoLo, who I met when I went to the Tom Jones concert. Remember I told you this, I think? Which was a great, huge thrill.
I remember you went to the concert. Who did you meet?
Tony Curtis, bro.
Oh,
I mean, you'll never meet people like that in your life. I mean, see, to me, bro, like legendary freaking Hollywood, bro. I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. Now, what about you?
All right. I've got a couple of decent names to drop. I'm going to drop 3 real quick. The first and the fastest is Pope John Paul II.
Okay, that's a pretty big deal, bro.
Hey, it wasn't a bad deal. I was very young at the time. I was in about how old was I? I think I was in about.
Bro, you're making Undertaker eyes, and you're creeping me out, bro.
Oh, I'm just trying to think. Anyways, I was in 5th grade about that time, and we had a friend who worked in the reserves in Missouri, and she worked at the base where the Pope was leading from after his tour, which took him through St. Louis at that time. And so I went to this base. We got invited by her to go to see on his farewell, basically. And so I stood on the side of this red carpet, where on the other side were all the cardinals and the bishops all lined up. And on the one side was them, and on the other side was all the families and the kids and the people who were all reaching out for, Il Papa, and as he walked down the line, he only essentially shook hands with the people. And I thought that was really cool to begin with. Later in this was before you kind of could see the later in his life starting, when he started to really deteriorate. So he was still pretty strong at this point, and he had a really his mind was still very, very, very sharp, but he gave my hand to shake.
Nice, bro.
And so I had been, at least shook the hand of the pontiff, and that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Second name drop is, the Black Eyed Peas?
Yep.
Apple Diap of the Black Eyed Peas. So there's will.i.am, there's Taboo, and there's Apple Diap, and there's Fergie. Apple, I am the co-producer of the first music video for his solo project. And I got a lucky opportunity. Yep. My buddy Michael Chait is the director of that video, and he took me and some crew members to Los Angeles, and we participated in a film festival called Elevate Film Festival out there. And through that, we got a chance to meet this guy. And so I got a chance to go to his house and hang out with him and shoot a video with him over the course of about 7 days. And it was this fast-paced, but getting a chance to sort of just be in a working relationship with someone who has like platinum records, like gathering dust on his pool table.
Yeah,
you know, that was really like, and then I played Wii Bowling with him, you know, like, and so that was just such a great, like, it's celebrity shock moment. It pulled me like out of this, out of reality for a second.
Yeah.
The final one, the last one. Oh, who was it? It was a good one too, and I've totally forgotten. I'll remember someday. It must not have been that good.
I did too, bro. Like this, I mean, this wasn't like a big deal for me, but like it would be a pretty big deal to a lot of guys, especially. I literally interviewed Pamela Anderson for about 30 minutes, her and I alone in a room with nobody else, bro.
Oh, okay, that is pretty cool. Oh, yeah. I remember who it was. Dwight Schultz.
Dwight Schultz. I don't know who that is.
The A-Team, Howlin' Mad Murdoch.
I didn't watch that.
You watch the A-Team at all?
You're talking Mr. T A-Team?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a big fan of that.
Okay. Dwight Schultz was also in Star Trek and a bunch of other stuff. He's a fantastic actor, and I got a chance to meet him at a convention last year and just kind of just hang out with him for a little while and talk, and it was brilliant.
Nice.
So much fun. Oh, I remembered. I can't believe I remembered. I can't believe I forgot. All right, this is the best one. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know who he is, right? Dr. Tyson?
Sounds familiar, bro.
Black astrophysicist. He's on a lot of talk shows.
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah, yeah.
I met him, but before I knew who he was, I met him, and I got a chance to have cocktails with a bunch of people, including him. And so he talked to me, and it was like listening to Socrates speak, and he was the most.
I don't like when I talk.
No, yeah, absolutely, Vince. I listen to you like you're a Greek philosopher.
Yeah.
This guy, though, every once in a while you meet someone who you could just sit and listen to every single word, like every word they had to say. This was one of those. This was one of those people. I could tell he was an important man just by being in his presence.
Yeah.
He blew my mind, and after that meeting, he started to become incredibly popular, even more so in popular culture. And I just realized what I had.
Yeah.
In that moment, I was like, I met him like right at the crest of this wave. It changed my life, and now I get to see him affecting like the world. It's so mind numbing that I had this opportunity. Yeah. So that's my top 3 famous people that I've met. So
nice.
Autographs wise, I didn't go for any autographs, but just meeting and getting a chance to have like your history changed by interacting with somebody who has that much like social power, you know. Everybody's life changes when they meet someone who has that much impact. So hopefully, Josh, you've got someone like that. Josh, definitely, and anybody who's listening, interact a little bit. Let's hear some of the famous people you've met and the autographs you've gotten, funny stories. Throw some in the comments of the video. Throw some our way through the official Vince Russo at gmail.com. But yeah, this is we're always answering your questions, folks. So if you've got answers too, join right in. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So Vince, that brings us to the end of the question portion of the show. But now I've got to know if you've got a question for me. Oh, sometimes we do this.
Well, let me say this first to buy us a little bit of time.
Oh, sure.
Let's keep in mind, JoLo, this show right here, the JoLo Show, and Jeff Lane's show, the Lions and Tigers and Bears, are really the only 2 shows that are free content on the Realm Network. So, bro, these 2 shows are going to probably get more widely seen than anything else. Well, that's why, I think it's important because we have an audience here, because this is part of free content, to just tell them about the Realm, tell them about VIP, tell them about Premium, and tell them, VinceRussoBrand.com, they could check all that out.
Right. Well, Vince ran down it really, really quick, folks, but I'll go ahead and throw some information up here on the screen, too, for you to see.
Yeah, buy me a little bit of time. Talk a little bit about it so I can think of a question. Go ahead.
I will, absolutely. Well, like Vince said, this is one of 2 shows that's coming to you free on the Realm Network, and there's a bunch more content. By a bunch more, we're talking daily video content, daily interview, not daily fresh stuff you don't get anywhere else exclusively from Vince Russo and the brand, myself, and from Jeff Lane. Vince has got interviews lined up that you're going to find out about, stuff we're going to talk about. Part 1 of the Bill DeMott interview was just released, and you guys have got to check out some of the stuff available on the brand. The we've already gotten tons of great responses, and you're gonna see stuff from people that other people just can't book, and you're gonna see stuff from people that you haven't heard from in a long time. And Vince's baseball stuff, if you're into baseball at all, I'm not personally, but believe me,
Bro,
just
listen,
by being around
show.
it.
Let me interject here.
Bring it on.
My wrestling show's called "Who's on First," right, bro?
Your wrestling show, your baseball,
my
show is called.
People got to understand. Listen, this ain't it's a Vince Russo show. I'll give you a little example today, JoLo. As I'm doing my show today, I got this freaking lunatic next door neighbor. Bro, do you ever have the neighbor like that every 3 days they got to cut the lawn, bro? Like, and they manicure the lawn and they trim the lawn and this lunatic guy next door, bro, every freaking 3 days, the guy is cutting his freaking lawn. So, of course, bro, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing the, who's on first this morning, and lunatic chucklehead next door. And bro, I'm not even exaggerating. He cut his lawn on Sunday, and it's April. It's April. We're not even in the summer. And I literally went on about that for 15 minutes on today's baseball show. So that's free. That's free on the Realm Network. Who's on first? But yeah, bro, it's like it's not just baseball. If something's bothering me, you're gonna hear it, bro.
Well, Vince, the JoLo Show has never been just not wrestling. Every once in a while, we dip right back into it, and I think that still is part of the charm of it. Is that, like we've said before, the universe tends to fold around you when it comes to talking about other stuff that's going on in your life, which is perfectly fine. It's part of the charm of the brand, the stuff available on the Realm Network. This being just one small chunk of it, can't iterate that enough. This is a small piece of this is the tip of the iceberg.
Bro, I just noticed, man, huge pop, JoLo. That's an Italian horn?
It is.
Can you please explain to these people what that is?
That'll be your question.
It must have just popped out, bro. Must have been in your shirt.
Yeah, I had it in here, and then as we were talking, I started
bro, you gotta proudly keep that out. Tell them what that is. Are you kidding me?
Yes. So I keep forgetting the actual name for it in Italian, but this is known in North America as the Italian horn. And this was my grandpa's. And what it is it's a symbol Italian men wear. It's a symbol of masculinity, of virility, sort of general manliness. And it's usually just sort of like the singular piece of jewelry. And I forgot exactly what the what the shape. I know it's a little phallic, but it's also.
Bro, let me ask you this, bro. I got to stop you, JoLo.
Sure.
Who gave you this definition of what the Italian horn was, bro?
A long time ago. I haven't looked it up in a long time, Vince.
Bro, that's not, bro. Listen, maybe that's the explanation in a dictionary. That's not the explanation for Italians, bro.
It was though. This was. I don't really have a decent explanation for it. That's the only one I've got that I looked up like when I got it almost 10 years ago.
For Italians, what the Italian horn is, bro?
What is it?
It keeps the evil away.
Oh,
it's the Italian horn. It keeps evil. It keeps everything bad away from you. That's the Italian horn, bro.
Well, good. Oh, here it is. It's called the corno or the cornuto. And it means the little horn. And yep, it is a shaped amulet to protect against the evil eye.
Yeah, see, bro? Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just talking to me about that fella, that fella you just met. What was that guy's name that became a big deal and you sat on every word?
Oh, Tyson. Yes, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Okay, bro, listen, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, you're going to have to think long and hard about this, I think, bro.
Yeah,
okay. If there... And I'm not talking family members. I'm talking, I'm not talking family members, obviously, okay? If there were one person you could bring back, okay, not family member, not friend, nothing personal, bro, because obviously we have a laundry list. One person you could bring back to have one conversation with, you and this person in a room. One conversation. Who's that person, bro? No longer with us.
So I've got joke answers and I've got real answers.
No, this ain't joke. This is serious.
Okay. So for serious, I have two. The knee-jerk answers. I always go with my gut. So my knee-jerk answers is there's two people. One is the writer Hunter S. Thompson.
I know him through my kids. Big fans. And I know who he is. Yeah.
Right. He just seemed to have a mind that was worth picking and going through and talking to. And the other person is a similar person, the comedian Bill Hicks.
Now, why Bill Hicks?
Bill Hicks, I listened to his stuff, and I've been listening to more and more of it, and I like stand-up comedy a lot. I really like when someone can take something that seems like you shouldn't really necessarily be able to laugh about it, but still make a joke that seems deep and thoughtful, but makes you laugh out loud. Carlin could do that very, very well. And there's several other people who could do that without just being too political, you know? And so Bill Hicks just has these weird moments where it's clear that he just sees it. Like he sees through, like, to pardon my French, he sees through all the bullshit. You know, he just cuts right through it with his wit and with the way that he sees the world. And so I kind of would want to glean that a little bit and kind of just reinforce the way I see the world. Because, you know, living can be tough. So talking to great people that you share, that have seen through that kind of thing and that have sort of have a grip on reality and their own personalities, like Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson totally is that kind of person. He sees, you can tell that he sees through the fog. Like there's no fog for him. He sees right through it. Whereas everybody else is perfectly fine seeing just in front of their faces. There's a few people who can see right through it. And I think that that Hunter S. Thompson, Bill Hicks, those are two of the people who I would definitely want to meet and have a conversation with. Sinatra is another person, not necessarily because he could see through the thing.
JoLo, I got to tell you this, bro. Please, please. Do you have HBO?
I do not. But what should I watch?
JoLo, they right now on HBO have a 2-part series. And like each part is 3 hours. This thing is about 6 hours.
Okay.
And it's the Sinatra bio.
Oh
my God, bro. Freaking brilliant, fascinating. I mean, bro, it's literally worth buying HBO for a month and canceling HBO. I am telling you, bro, if you're a Sinatra guy, you have to see this documentary, bro.
I am a Sinatra guy. I will take a look. And it's not necessarily because he was a great scientific mind or any of that. It's just his life experiences, where he was in the time and place, popular culture. Like,
and bro, here's the beauty of it. When you watch that documentary, the thing that really comes out, bro, like that, just it kind of cracked me up.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he was so old school in everything he did, his way of thinking, the way he looked at the world, everything. It was, see, like, you know, I'm Italian, bro. You're Italian. It's that old school Italian, bro. And it comes through in this documentary so freaking loud and clear, bro. It's unbelievable.
Nice. Well, I will have to check that out. I'm a big Sinatra mark. So anything Sinatra, I am there. My real quick, my joke answer, and it's kind of half joke answer, JFK, because then I would be able to write a book about what really happened, and where I'd be able to ask him questions and figure out, like, piece it together and be the one person who actually knows what really went down.
Interesting.
I think it'd be fun to have like a piece of unique knowledge that you could either then hold on to or market. And yeah. I'm not really sure if I should do either one, but that was a good question. Thanks for that question, Vince. That was another great deep question to end the JoLo Show with for tonight. And that does bring us to the end. Yeah. You pointed out at the beginning of the show.
I love the way you don't ask me who the one guy I'd want to have a conversation.
This question was for me,
bro. It's all about it's all about JoLo. It's all about JoLo on the JoLo Show.
You're hurt, aren't you?
I mean, like,
you're hurt.
Not for anything, bro.
You're hurt by this that I didn't ask you.
Well, wrap it up. Not too late now. Now you're asking me out of pity. I'm not going to answer.
No. I know that you'll just say it if I keep bringing it up. So I think you should answer. You're going to save it for next week? You're going to remember? Am I going to remember?
Maybe. I'm old. I usually don't remember things a week later, bro.
I think you should just tack it on to the show right now, just in case.
That's all right. Because now it's like a pity. Now it's a pity. Yeah, Vince, who do you want to talk?
Wrap her up. All right, fine. Well, Vince likes to air his dirty laundry, folks, and just kind of leave it out for all of us to see. And that's how we'll end the JoLo Show. But keep in mind, this was the first JoLo Show publicly available for free on the Realm Network. This will be a similar show. We're going to put it up every Wednesday night, and we hope you guys enjoy it. Please submit your questions for the JoLo Show, non-wrestling related. We'll see you guys on Twitter. We'll see you guys on Facebook. We'll see you guys on Realm. Thank you for listening.
JoLo, can you tell him one other thing before you go? See, bro,
Sure.
listen, you cut yourself short sometimes.
No.
Now, this show right here, the JoLo Show, bro, okay? This is the free show on Wednesdays.
Yes.
Tell them what is the premium content on Wednesdays that JoLo plays a huge role in. Come on,
see,
bro.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Vince. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, explain. You go double. It's almost like Wednesday's JoLo night. You go double duty. This is your free gift. But what else are you doing on the premium site? Come on now.
Wednesday nights on the premium site for subscribers, we are going to have a Google Hangout chat that we are calling The Brand Speaks. Every Wednesday, you'll get a chance to sit down with Vince, myself, and the other members of the brand, and we'll just chat it out. We're going to have a great conversation. We've had some real characters show up so far. We had Jake, we've had Scott, we've had Dave, we've had a few other folks too. I'm trying to think of who else has showed up on the regular basis. Anyways, we want you to be that next person, is what we're trying to say. So sign up for the premium section of the brand. Join us on The Brand Speaks, where I'll be the moderator of a conversation between everybody, anyone we can get on there. So we're looking forward to it. Vince, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think I'm really looking forward to it, bro. I want to hear what the brand has to say.
Well, we're going to find out when we record the first edition of The Brand Speaks on Wednesday, and it's going to be a great show. So thank you guys for listening. Vince, you want to say your goodbyes?
Yeah, no, like always, JoLo, great job with the show. This is the JoLo Show. It is your baby. I like the expansion of JoLo with the new show, and I'm really looking forward to it. And as always, thank you very much.
Yeah, all right. Do I have more energy now by the end of the show?
A little bit. You made it through, bro. You made it through.
Maybe I didn't yawn or anything. Not really.
No, you're good to go.
Okay, folks. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you again next week. Take it easy.